tough loss for the Bulls as the Bulls fall to the 76ers 103-98. We're going to talk about Vucevic not showing up at all today. DeRozan and LaVine completely carrying the Bulls offense. And I want to talk about the defense because I actually think the defense was pretty good today, even though some might disagree with that. But welcome back to TheSlamDuncan YouTube channel. This will be probably a quick video as I'm very tired. I keep saying I'm going to take a break from making these videos, but I'm just going. I'm just on that grind right now. I just want to talk about these games. But very quickly, Bulls lost 103-98 to the 76ers. The 76ers got to an 18-point lead in the first half in the second quarter. Really, DeMar DeRozan was the only person that was consistently scoring in that first half. LaVine showed up in the second quarter and the third quarter. He had a very tough fourth, and we'll get to that in a second here. But the Bulls, got down like how they did in Boston, and this is not good. You don't want to get up to those slow starts, especially, against a 76ers team, which can be very good defensively. And you can't just relax when you're facing a guy like Embiid. But I think the Bulls guarded Embiid pretty well today. But even though the 76ers team has no Ben Simmons, has no Tobias Harris right now due to COVID, no Danny Green, this is still a very good 76ers team. I thought the Bulls definitely had their chances tonight, but they ended up falling. I just look at this game and I'm like, I think the offense was pretty bad today. As DeRozan and LaVine were the only two people that I think showed up. I thought Lonzo had a pretty awful game, and that was it was just DeRozan and LaVine. These are the only two guys that I'm like, these two guys showed up offensively, but no one else did. Specifically Vucevic, who's just absolutely struggling right now. The defense, I'm going to show you some clips here. That's what I have pulled up. I honestly thought the defense was pretty good today. You kept the 76ers team to 103 points. You have a good chance of winning this game. Bulls did not make that many threes and didn't shoot that many threes tonight. The 76ers did a pretty decent job of guarding that. But, man, overall, it just felt like the Bulls definitely could have gotten this game. But it's okay, It's okay, that we lost this one. Definitely not very happy with the ending here, but you were in this game even though that this was a pretty bad offensive performance. Vucevic did not show up at all. Lonzo by far had his worst game of the season, and the Bulls didn't make that many threes, and you still were in this game. That's a good sign. I want to take the positive from that instead of just look at the negative here where it's we could have gotten this game. Let's just take the positive, move on here. But here is just the overall summary. As you can see, the 76ers dominated the first half. The Bulls won each quarter in the second half. Again, though, the 76ers didn't get to 30 points in a quarter. I still think this was pretty decent defensively for the Chicago Bulls. Only 103 points given up. But I'm going to show you where some things went wrong. And one of them is, I can't show you in here, of course. The three-point shooting by the 76ers was just overall really, really good. 12 of 28 from the field, 42%. And I honestly think, Billy Donovan went into this game thinking, we're not going to let Embiid dominate the show. We're going to make sure that Embiid has to throw it out to the other role players and make them beat us. Kind of similar to what they did to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown at the end of that Boston Celtics game when the Bulls won in that run. Was they were basically asking Marcus Smart, Josh Richardson, Dennis Schroeder, Al Horford to take the open shots, and we're basically daring them to beat us. But, in this game, it was let's double Embiid. Let's force him to pass the ball out. We know Embiid's going to score no matter what, but let's try to limit the amount of shots he takes. And let's try to ask for the others to beat us. And the 76ers, they showed up today. I'm talking specifically about the role players. Seth Curry had an incredible game, in my opinion. And the Bulls definitely need to do better with Seth Curry. I think that was the one problem I had defensively today. But, look, Matisse Thybulle's a 30% three-point shooter. He hit 2 threes today. You got Georges Niang. He put up 18 points today. 4 of 8 from three-point range. 6 of 12 overall. That's not normal, right? And if Georges Niang, misses 2 more of these threes, the Bulls might win this game, honestly. So, it was just I thought the role players, they just showed up today. And I give, the 76ers credit. I tweeted out, I'm just if Thibault and Niang are going to hit their threes today, then you just tip your cap and you just go on. You just say, good job. We play the numbers, but you beat us. So I think, honestly, that's where I'm the defense was overall pretty good in this game. I want to show you some clips of what I'm trying to say here. This was a constant throughout the game where you saw Embiid go into the post and the Bulls were double teaming strong side. And I just want to show you what I'm trying to explain here. So you see Embiid, he gets into the low block here. And what you're going to see is that the Bulls, they double team from the top of the key. So you're not double team from weak side baseline. You're going to see them come from the strong side, top of the key here. And you see Javonte Green slide over. And the Bulls, I thought, were doing pretty good rotations on this double team. I thought they were scrambling. They were getting out to the shooters. But watch. I mean, right here, I would rather have Georges Niang shoot this jump shot than have Embiid get a one-on-one matchup over Vucevic here. And I think this is pretty decently contested. Caruso probably could have gotten out there a little bit quicker, but that's okay. And Niang just knocks us down. I mean, if Niang is going to hit these shots, and Georges Niang is very much just a bench player, so be it. There was definitely some of these shots in the first quarter that were like very much like open, and that's not okay. Like, I need those shots to be contested, but if you're forcing Niang and Thibault and the other role players to take threes that are contested, I think you're doing your job. If they hit it, you just tip your cap. Another play here, I think it's just, again, very similar. You see the Bulls here. This is an in transition play, and they're like, we're not going to let you score in the paint. And this is a bunch of mismatches all over the floor. So I think the Bulls actually did a pretty decent job recovering here. As you see, Shake Milton has Tony Bradley on him, and he drives to the lane, and he's able to pull multiple defenders. You see Drummond is then coming through, but Tony Bradley's on Shake Milton. So then you see the Bulls collapse on the Drummond. And again, right here, the Bulls then, they throw it out to Georges Niang. This is, again, contested for Georges Niang. I'm actually shocked that he didn't throw it to Furkan Korkmaz, because he's a much better three-point shooter. And this is contested again by Caruso. He just hits it, This also happened in the third quarter as well. And there was a shot by Georges Niang that was like very deep and also very contested. And again, it's just, if he hits those shots, tip your cap, man. That's just a good job by Georges Niang. And I just give the 76ers credit. I'm going to show another play here where I'm just like, man, that's just how it goes. This was a broken play, out of bounds play for the 76ers. The ball is tipped out of Georges Niang's hands. He drives to the rim, and I think this is the right play by Zach. Maybe instead of Zach coming over, maybe you bring in Tony Bradley instead. But, this is weak side help. We've been calling for this all year, and, the Bulls were doing it in this game. You have the weak side help, and I would much rather have Matisse Thybulle, a 30% three-point shooter, take this wide open three, or even just contested three, than Georges Niang taking, like an 8-footer right there. And I think Zach, he doesn't foul the three-point shooter. He just goes out there, gets a hand up, and, Matisse Thybulle hit the shot. And that's just kind of what this game was. And it seemed like every time the Bulls were like really close to breaking through and tying the game and then taking the lead, it just seemed like the 76ers would have a role player just hit a three that it's just, they're not supposed to hit the threes, right? So I just give the 76ers role players credit for this game. Now I want to talk about the offense here, because I think the defense is pretty solid. Now, I didn't listen to Billy Donovan's postgame, but I'm going to guess that he's going to say the defense was pretty okay. Again, 103 points only to the 76ers. That's pretty good. But maybe he disagrees with me, but I don't know. But that's just my overall thoughts of the defense. But man, we got to talk about this right here, because this is the problem right now offensively. Billy Donovan said that he thinks that the biggest issue we're gonna see from the Bulls is the offense, not the defense early on. And man, oh man, was he right? The defense, again, I think has been pretty solid throughout these 8 games. And right here, you see DeRozan had one hell of a game again. 37 points. It's 3 straight 30-point games from DeMar DeRozan, and he's just absolutely on fire right now. The big thing right here is he got to the free throw line when the Bulls really couldn't score, so, credit to him for getting to the free throw line. Zach had 27. I said it earlier, but I think Zach in the second and third quarter had very good quarters, but that fourth quarter was not a good quarter by him. He had a wide open layup, or not really wide open, but a layup that he missed. He missed some shots that I thought he usually knocks down, but then he had that turnover late, which wasn't 100% his fault, but it's definitely mostly his fault, where he got double teamed. But like, I was like screaming that someone has to come and get open, because Zach's getting double teamed, and you just saw Lonzo was like in the paint. That's not where Lonzo needs to be, because his man came over and double teamed. Lonzo needs to be more middle of the floor so Zach can get the ball to him, because you saw the 76ers, they basically just double teamed Zach there. And you saw the weak side come over to the strong side and basically swarm Zach. So he had no passing lanes no matter what. But it's still on Zach to get the ball out quicker. So, it's mostly on Zach, but it's also on the other guys to get open. And the Bulls, they were down early in this game. They made a run, but that's honestly, again, just thanks to DeMar DeRozan and honestly the bench again. The bench came in and I thought played very, very well. Specifically Tony Bradley, Derrick Jones Jr. I thought these guys played really, really well today. But at the end of the day, if your offense can't score, you're not going to win the game. I want to talk about Vucevic now because this has been a constant theme. I'm worried about Vucevic officially now. Preseason's one thing. If he's not shooting preseason, it's like that's going to come. We saw, first couple of games he wasn't really shooting, but the Bulls were winning games, so it's like, okay, that's all right. But then he had that Knicks game where it looked like that was like his breakout game. It was like he hit a couple of clutch shots. He hit some threes. He hit some open looks. He got some post-up opportunities, and he was hitting it. I was like, okay, Vooch is back, But then, these last two games, man, like against Boston, I thought he had so many opportunities that he just didn't take advantage of. That he had post-up opportunities. I mean, Al Horford and Robert Williams, Grant Williams, like they're all very undersized. So it's like Vucevic has that height advantage that I thought he could have taken advantage. And then in this game, man, like he just was passing up so many open looks that I'm like, he can take that and make it. I understand that he's probably thinking I'm struggling right now, so let's move it. But at the end of the day, Vucevic has to be the third option. And I tweeted out that I'm like, if Vucevic just scores 12 in this game, even though the Bulls had such a terrible offensive game overall, the defense was, not that great in the first quarter, but it looked pretty solid overall. I say if Vucevic scores 12, I think the Bulls win this game, even though the offense was just so bad. And I just think, again, it's like I'm thinking positively about the Bulls. So for Vucevic, man, like, I don't know what he needs to do. He says that he's sticking to his usual routine, which has, got him to be an all-star. But this dude's getting a lot of wide open looks right now, and he's just not knocking him down. I understand that Embiid isn't exactly, a guy you want to kind of go one-on-one against, but I thought the Bulls could have still used Vucevic in the post a little bit more in this game. But it's also on him because I saw a lot of opportunities where he caught the ball, and it looked like he could just go ahead and go, back down in the post, but he just didn't do it. He instead was very hesitant to do that. So I don't know who needs to talk to him or who needs to get him going, but he needs to show up. And I'm not asking for 20 plus from Vucevic. I mean, that would be fantastic because that's what he usually does. But Vucevic just needs to score 12, 14, right? That's it right now, at the very least. Just at the start right now, because he's struggling so bad that he only scored 4 points in this game. And I'm starting to see that he's becoming hesitant to even, look for his shot. That's not good. We need Vucevic, even if he is struggling, he needs to continue looking for his shot. And I'm just asking, I don't want to put so much pressure on him right now because he is struggling. So, no, I'm just asking for 12 or 14, maybe 16. But I'm not asking for 20 plus, like what he usually, does. So once he gets to, consistently putting up that 12, 14, 16, then I'm going to start asking for 20 plus. But I just need this dude to at least be competent right now on the offensive end. And I don't think he's that right now at all. I give credit to his passing. I mean, he had 6 assists again, or he had 6 assists this game. He had 9 assists in the previous game, but you can't just be a passer out there. If you're going to be a passer, you have to be a scorer. And this dude just needs to wake up and just be confident with his shot, man, because he just is starting to look very unconfident in his shot, and I feel bad for him about it. But also, I mean, Lonzo. I know Lonzo was the third scorer in this game, but that's not ideal. I know a lot of people are saying that Lonzo can come in and be the second scorer for the Bulls. That's not ever going to happen. Lonzo is not that dude. Okay, Lonzo is not supposed to be your second leading scorer. That is never ever going to work. Unless he really starts to prove to me that he can average at least 18 a game, which he's never going to do, I don't think. But I mean, I honestly don't think that this was a very good game by Lonzo either. I think he was very hesitant to shoot some wide open threes. As you see, he had 5 turnovers this game, along with Zach. I mean, Zach also had 5 turnovers. I mean, but the whole Lonzo pick and roll in the half court into that mid-range shot, man, I've told people that it's just he is not good at creating his own shot and making that shot off the dribble in the half court set. It's never ever gonna work with him. He's just not that dude. And I'm seeing too many of those pick and roll with Vucevic to that mid-range fadeaway shots. He's not going to hit those consistently. We've seen some shots go in like that for him, but he's just never going to hit those consistently. I started to kind of see also defensively more in the second half. I mean, he got taken out by Donovan early in the third quarter for, I think, a reason. It's because I don't think Lonzo was really putting in that much effort defensively in specifically the third quarter, because Donovan took him out quick. Like, Donovan was clearly not happy with Lonzo in that third quarter. So I'm just, I'm hoping that this is like the lowest of the low for Lonzo, because at the end of the day, if he has an open catch and shoot opportunity, I want him to take it. I want him to take that open catch and shoot opportunity, because he's that good of a three-point shooter when it's a catch and shoot opportunity. And I want him to start cutting to the rim a little bit more, because again, you have Vucevic out there, and if Vucevic can't get it going with a shot, he can still pass the ball. DeRozan's a very capable passer as well. So I just think that Lonzo just needs to understand that he has to be aggressive even if the ball's not in his hands. So this game I definitely don't think was that good from Lonzo. I give him credit for the first half. I thought he played very well defensively in the first half. And I loved his game I loved how he played in the second quarter. But this dude, he needed to definitely play better in this game as well. But I'm not criticizing him as much as I'm criticizing Vucevic, because Vucevic did not show up at all, and that's not good. Vucevic needs to show up. And I'm, very concerned right now about Vucevic more than Lonzo, because I know Lonzo's going to fit into this offense perfectly fine, and he's shown it so far already this season. So I think with Lonzo, just again be aggressive, because these six threes, like, I'm used to Lonzo at least taking 8 threes a game, and I like that. I like Lonzo taking those 8 threes. So I definitely thought he passed up some wide open 3-point shots that he probably should have taken. But I think moving forward, the Bulls play the 76ers again. I won't be shocked to see if Donovan puts the same defensive system out there, where it's like, we're going to dare Matisse Thybulle and Georges Niang to beat us from the 3-point line. I won't be shocked if that happens, because, again, the 76ers only scored 103 points. If the Bulls offense just, was decent tonight, I think the Bulls win this game. So, disappointing loss, but I'm still taking some positives from this game. But you can see where the Bulls need to improve on, and it's not the defensive end, it's the offensive end, and specifically Vucevic just needs to get going. So that's all I have for you in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tough loss for the Bulls, but make sure you hit the like button if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video.